What fake thing that happens in movies pisses you off? Digging graves in wooded areas. There are fucking roots everywhere. You cannot dig a 6-foot grave with a pair of shovels in an hour. That takes time. And rocks. So many rocks. 1. Where a witness confesses on the stand. 2. There is sudden surprise prosecution evidence. 3. Witnesses monologuing on the stand. 4. Minimal hearsay objections. 5. So much forensic evidence. Drives me batty. Objection. Your Honor. On what grounds? Witnesses narrating. Sustained. Movie over. Your Honor. I object. Why? Because it is devastating to my case. Overrule. Good call. Mafia guys. Mobsters or hitmen, people who are in the business of killing people and disappearing inconveniences, are intentionally clumsy or stupid when it comes to kill the protagonist. No double tap. Overcomplicated killing. Taking their sweet time. Not putting more than 1 or 2 henchmen for a particularly dangerous hostage. Shooting the monitor as a way of stopping the computer. Alright, let me tell you the good news: we do not need the monitor. Oh my god, I love Spider-Verse so damn much. Especially that scene. Laughed my ass off the first time. The bit after that with the act casual. Select a bagel. Does it for me. In British soaps, which are poop in general, everyone goes to the pub every day but no one ever gets drunk. They also order a pint. Take 1 sip and then just leave. Okay. But please tell me that your quaint country village is really a high society murder mills though. I've watched enough BBC TV to know they're the most dangerous place on earth. Sounds like Midsommar Murders to me. After a hit to the head or being knocked unconscious. People are fine after a minute. Concussions don't seem to exist in movies. It is super bad for you. God bless Archer. On that note, Archer is the only media I've ever seen that actually represents tinnitus. Shout out to the ringing ear gag. Rise up. When someone throws a grenade into a building and the whole building blows up. Grenades in movies either destroy everything in a mile radius or they're the equivalent of light shove. There is no in between. When they give a person CPR and the person walks away unscathed. When you give proper CPR, you are essentially breaking ribs to pump the heart, and sure, it does not happen to everyone, but still see a doc after that. And anything medically related like EpiPens being used, then magically all normal. All of these require being looked at to doctor emergency care directly afterward. Fire, lava, etc. has no heat. People can be suspended over a volcano. Or in the case of The Hobbit, surf on molten metal and no one gets so much as a blister. Add to this, characters falling into the lava and sinking like it is just glowing yellow pudding. Setting aside that they'd probably actually burst into flame and steam on contact if not before. Lava still has the density of rock. You ain't gonna sink into that. Do not forget that it is okay to breathe the superheated gases coming from the lava too. Whenever some idiot is running on foot while being chased by a car that is trying to run them down, they without fail always run straight down the middle of the street. When all they have to do is simply run off to the side where there is trees and lampposts and plenty of other poop to block them from getting hit. In that case, I always root for whoever is driving. This is common when running away from almost anything. Big boulder chasing you down. Run straight. Never turn. Some tall skinny pillar falling down. Run lengthwise. Do not try to sidestep it. Or when they do run to the side, it is always at the last second for style points. When they could have sidestepped it from the very beginning. But it would not have looked as cool. Are people shooting at you? Take cover behind anything. Car doors, drywall, couches, tables, cardboard boxes. It doesn't matter. Everything is bulletproof. The worst offender is a couch. You are telling me machine guns would not go through a couch? The fresh out of college student scoring a great apartment in a swanky part of town while working minimum wage job for themselves. In reality, you had to have 4 roommates for such a place. Or you are living in a dump in a bad part of town. And they and their friends always get the same table at their usual hangout. Like it is reserved specifically for them. How terrible the bad guys are at shooting. and good guys just pull out a gun while running and shoot a dude dead from across the parking lot, as he does a somersault while changing magazines. I like how being a good guy makes you a master of every small arm ever produced. Acting like an easily removable piece of duct tape silences someone. When I was a teenager I played with duct tape often, and I felt the need to test this trope. I put a single piece of duct tape over my own mouth and gave it the best seal I could give. I was able to remove it with my tongue in just a few seconds. The trick is to stick something in the mouth to act like a ball gag and then tape over that. Take it from someone with experience in the field. People sneaking around inside air ducts. Do not get me wrong. In big buildings you absolutely can walk around in there. I have done it a lot. But 1. They are dirty as sin. Not gleaming metal. 2. There are screws poking in there and sharp edges everywhere. 3. There are lots of barriers to movement. Fans, filters, humidifiers, dampers and fire dampers. All of those would stop your progress. 4. It is not a quiet process. That metal bongs and clunks like crazy under your weight. Gift wrapping the box and the lid separately. I mean, I get why they do it multiple takes, but it always sticks out to me. Also, every bag of groceries has French bread. All the groceries apart from the French bread are spherical items like oranges and melons, and they always drop them and they roll away. Last night I had baguettes and loose oranges for dinner. So that is literally what I buy. Congrats. You're a trope. The old out of the blue intentional T-bone car accident. Like the bad guy is psychic and knew when and where to be, and is totally immune to the flow of traffic so they could time it just right to T-bone someone in an intersection. Absurd. Not to mention it never seems to actually succeed in causing the death of the intended victim. Nor does the bad guy ever seem to get injured at all. I wonder how many times the bad guy missed trying to do that before. Like he sets up his run for the T-bone but does not realize the intended victim stopped at the previous red light or stop sign, so the timing was all off. Homes are always spotless and ridiculously large, and inhabited by people who were taken from House Hunter's central casting. She is a part-time kindergarten teaching assistant. He plays the tambourine in a Fleetwood Mac cover band. Their budget is $12 million. Gotta love the marketing intern that lives in a spacious Nick apartment by herself. I am a legacy graduate of an Ivy League school. I got a full scholarship to since my daddy knows the dean as they graduated in the same year. I also get my parents to pay for my rent, clothes, food, car if needed, and am still on their health insurance. Here is my blog how I lived debt-free and Nick at age 23. Anyone can do it if you try. Just got to make a budget and stick to it. Resist the call for Starbucks and avocado toast. If you cannot make it, just get a second job working for your mom's multi-million-dollar marketing firm for some spending money. This blog was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Movie depictions of childbirth are often ridiculously wrong. They make it look so easy, quick, and clean. This is not the case. The baby comes out clean and 3 months old. My kid came out of a cut in my wife's stomach. 95 pounds and looked like a screaming bloody fat purple sumo wrestler. Seeing my wife with her stomach open like that has been scarred into my mind. I am glad she had the screen and could not see. I know it is the most common one, but since it has not been mentioned yet, I will mention it. Gun reloads or lack thereof, and the insane amount of ammunition the protagonist is carrying. The fact that ammo apparently weighs nothing as well. That poop is heavy. That a sample can be DNA processed in 2 minutes so you know who your killer is. On Lucifer. It is so over the top. I am not even mad. The CSI chook will be standing over the body at the crime scene and tell them what the lab results were. When a character gets a full cup of a drink with a straw and they sip and it makes a slurping noise, drinking through a straw doesn't make a slurping sound until the near end of the drink. EMTs, doctors, random hero person using a defibrillator on a person that has flatlined. That is not how it works. You shock a flatline and all you do is make the patients even more dead. Flatliners get drugs to get their hearts beating, and then get shocked if the beat is abnormal. Most modern EMTs would not even let you shock someone if they are flatlining, or if they do not have an arrhythmia. Exactly. Unfortunately, the myth of shocking a flatline is so prevalent that most people do not seem to know that. I can only hope that if I keel over somewhere, the aid brought to me is particularly user-friendly. When the plot necessitates the protagonist to be unconscious for several hours due to a blow to the head, then she just regains consciousness, shakes their head a few times, and is back to normal. I have had several concussions from sports in my life, and only one where I lost consciousness, and that was for maybe several seconds. For that one I spent weeks fighting nausea, headaches, and vision problems. My mood was impacted for months. There is no way I could just get up and start kicking ass after being out for several hours. If you are out for several hours from a blow to the head, it is pretty unlikely you will ever wake up. Also, if someone cracks you on the head hard enough to induce unconsciousness, you're probably going to spend the next little while either seizuring, throwing up, or just really tired and dizzy. You're certainly not going to leap up and chase someone along a moving train. In MMA fights, when a guy gets knocked out, you will sometimes see his legs flex stiff straight with toes pointed while he kind of breathes hard but is stone cold out, or other times their arms will zombie up out. You never see that kind of knocked unconscious in the movies. Slight inconveniences that could easily be solved are the main conflict of the movie. Hallmark anyone, 30-40-year-olds living high school or even JR high-level drama. The member of the group that sacrifices themselves for no reason. Go on without me. I'll never make it. Yes you will. I'll carry you. No. Seriously. Go on. The writer needs me to die here so that I am not with you guys when you need me later, or so that you can use me as he would have wanted you to. Excuse. Setting off fire alarm. Fire sprinklers. 1. Pulling a fire alarm will not activate fire sprinklers. 2. Setting off a single sprinkler head will not set off the entire system. Each fire sprinkler has either a glass bulb with heat-sensitive liquid or a metal fusible. You need to essentially break the bulk on each individual sprinkler to allow the water to flow. 3. The water leaving the sprinkler system will be black from the years of corrosion that occurs inside due to the stagnant water. You do not want to be around this water when it comes out. I designed these systems. I know how this poop works. Hacking anything in seconds. I am accessing the mainframe to open the security doors for you. Clickety-clack, click, click, clickety-click rapidly. I'm in. Other guy, you really are the best hacker. Huh? Oh. I did not hack it. I just typed admin in both the login and password fields. Most places never change that poop. They never seem to make mistakes typing either. You never hear the telltale sound of the backspace key. Hello fellow programmer. I type 120 words a minute, but only like 12 of them are forward. The rest are backwards. Bad science talk in general. Quantum nanotechnology. English please. This is the worst. And even more because it's usually used when people talk things that are actually quite simple. Every time a car drives off stops there is a sound of tires screeching, even if on a dirt road. Also every time a car crashes it explodes in a huge fireball. Neck breaking for an easy or quick kill. I am getting sick of it. Careful how hard you roll your eyes at that stunt. I saw a movie where a guy broke his neck doing that once. That everyone in a Tom Cruise movie is the same height or shorter than him. They could not hide the size difference at all in Mission Impossible Fallout. Leading up to the fight scenes between Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill's characters, they had to have so many disabling things happen to Cavill's character to make it a feasible fight between them. They did Cavill dirty in that film imho. That mustache was very well done though. Any scene where chloroform knocks someone out in 2 seconds. I feel like Rio officially has gone too far. It takes at least 5 minutes and the dose difference between asleep and dead is really slim. You will also likely throw up while you are out, or after you wake up. So that is nice. Speaking from experience, which side of the chloroform rag were you on? Guys who get rejected and then stalk the girl and win her over at the end of the movie. Romantic dramas. Some stupid miscommunication that could have been resolved with 5 minutes of conversation and a phone call turns into some feature-length bullshit. Let me kill all the bad guys to prove my innocence. kill an army of mooks. But you cannot kill the bad guy with a name, because my cycle of revenge would be just like him. The lesson I got from that is only the leaders are people. Everyone else is an animal that's okay to slaughter. Only so long as the goons and henchmen have their faces covered. Women's hair is always perfect after a crazy action sequence. They are also wearing heels all the time, no matter what crazy stunts they are doing. This one makes me crazy. If your job involves running, jumping, fighting, or any sort of physical activity at all, you don't wear stilettos. Any heel. Never once as a scientist have I worn heels to lab. It is actually a safety hazard. And it irks me to no end when I see someone in a science or industrial type setting wearing heels.